We are now in the really dry period of the off season and nothing really is going on whatsoever, and it's just counting down the days to opening night now, and I think it's time I start firing out some prediction videos heading into next season. So in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys my NHL Awards predictions for the 2018-19 season. Starting the video off with the Presidents Trophy, the only team trophy in this video. I'm not going to be doing the Stanley Cup because I'm going to be giving you guys my Stanley Cup winner prediction once I do my final power ranking heading into the season. But winning the Presidents Trophy and being the best regular season team next year, I have the Winnipeg Jets. I just think their team is so stacked from the goaltender out, and they're definitely going to be riding a lot of confidence coming off of their fantastic playoffs in my opinion. So I have them winning the Presidents Trophy as the best regular season team. The runner-ups, I have the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the San Jose Sharks. Tampa Bay and Toronto, kind of obvious ones, but a lot of people probably won't pick San Jose to be close with the President's Trophy race, but in my opinion, they do have a very solid team and a very solid goaltender as well, and I think they're going to be a team that's going to fly under the radar but have a really strong regular season. Next up is the Selke Trophy, awarded to the best defensive forward in the NHL. I have winning it Alexander Barkov of the Florida Panthers. Last year, Patrice Bergeron won. The nominees last year was Sean Couturier, Anze Kopitar, and Patrice Bergeron. The nominees I have this next season is Sean Couturier, Bergeron, and Barkov, so the only change there is Barkov for Kopitar. In my opinion, it is an absolute crime that Barkov was not even a finalist for the Selke Trophy last season. I think he's very underrated, but that probably is because he plays in Florida, and defensive forwards don't really get a lot of recognition as some of the best players in the NHL. But in my opinion, over the next couple of seasons, Barkov is going to solidify himself as a top player in the NHL and definitely the best defensive forward in the league. Like I said earlier, he should have won it this past season in my opinion, and I think it's only a matter of time before he starts racking up the Selke trophies. Next up, we have the Vezina Trophy, awarded to the best goaltender in the NHL throughout the regular season, and winning it next year I have Connor Hellebuyck of the Winnipeg Jets. Last year he showed that he can be an elite level goaltender in the NHL, and in my opinion Winnipeg is just such an absolutely stacked team, and when you're an elite goaltender playing behind such a stacked forward and defense core, I think he's going to rack up a lot of shutouts, a lot of wins, have a very good save percentage and goals against average, and those really are the key factors when you're factoring in who is going to be the Vezina Trophy winner and who is the best goaltender in the NHL for that season. So that's why I think it is going to be Connor Hellebuyck. Nominees, I have obviously Connor Hellebuyck, Andrei Vasilevsky for mostly the same reasons. Tampa Bay is a very stacked team and he's a very solid goaltender, and then Frederik Andersen, who in my opinion should have got some more recognition last year, but all in all I definitely think Connor Hellebuyck is going to come out on top as the Vezina Trophy winner. Next up, we have the Calder Trophy, awarded to the best rookie in the NHL for the whole season, and this was probably one of the toughest ones for me to pick as there is so many highly touted prospects and amazing young players coming into next season, but all in all I decided to go with the safe pick, and that is Elias Pettersson of the Vancouver Canucks. I think he's going to get all of the opportunity in the world to play a lot of minutes and play with some talented guys, especially guys like Horvat and Besser on that power play, and he will rack up a lot of points in my opinion. And then the nominees, obviously Pettersson, and then I have Middlestat and Rasmus Dahlin, both of the Buffalo Sabres. But what I think is going to kind of make it harder for each one of those guys to win is that they play on the same team. Casey Middlestat is who I was really leaning towards throughout the majority of the summer, but now when I really sat down and thought about it for a couple of minutes, I decided to go with Elias Pettersson, and then obviously Rasmus Dahlin as a nominee, the first overall pick. There's going to be a lot of coverage around him, and he definitely will have an opportunity to win it as well, but all in all, I've decided to go with Elias Pettersson as your Calder Trophy winner for the 2018-19 season. Next is the Norris Trophy, awarded to the best defenseman in the NHL throughout the regular season, and I kind of went off the board with this one. Winning it I have Seth Jones, and for some people this really wouldn't be going off of the board because he did finish 4th in Norris Trophy voting last season. He put up a lot of points, and in my opinion he had an amazing season that kind of does fly under the radar, but next year I think he is going to win the Norris Trophy. Nominees I have obviously Seth Jones, Victor Hedman, and Erik Karlsson. And picking this one, I was kind of torn between Erik Karlsson and Seth Jones, because I definitely think that all the coverage Erik Karlsson is going to get next season is going to benefit him, and I certainly think he will put up a lot of points and have a bounce back year, and he is capable of being a Norris Trophy winner. He's won the trophy before, and he's still very much so in his prime, so I was kind of torn between the two, but I decided to ultimately go with Seth Jones of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Next up, we have the Rocket Richard Trophy, awarded to the player with the most goals in the regular season, and winning it I have Patrick Laine of the Winnipeg Jets. Patrick Laine was very much so in the race to win the Rocket Richard this past season until he went on a little bit of a cold spell, and obviously Alex Ovechkin just kept on scoring goals. But next year I really think is the year that Patrick Laine will solidify himself as the best goal scorer in the NHL. Runner-ups, I have Alex Ovechkin, who I think is still capable of putting up 45 plus goals. Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs, a guy who now won't have to play against the other team's top forwards, top defense pairing, because you throw John Tavares into that situation, and I think Matthews is going to thrive and put up a lot of goals next season. And then I have Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers. With how skilled he is, I think he will be a 40 plus goal scorer in the league for the next 10 years. Very capable in my opinion of being a 50 plus goal scorer as well, but I'm not sure if he's selfish enough to do that. He does enjoy passing the puck a lot as well, but all in all I definitely think Patrick Laine will have the most goals in the NHL next season. Next up is the Art Ross Trophy, awarded to the player with the most total points in the regular season, and for me this was a no-brainer. I have Connor McDavid winning, and I know I kind of wanted to go off the board and pick somebody else just because everybody and their grandmother is going to be picking Connor McDavid to have the most points in the league, but I just can't see anybody else, barring a catastrophic injury to Connor McDavid, score more points than him next season. Runner-ups, I have Nikita Kucherov, who I think is capable of putting up 90 plus points and pushing 100, Nathan MacKinnon, and Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau, many people will be like, wow, why do you have him on here? I think he's going to put up a lot of points next season. He's a very talented guy, and with the acquisitions that the Calgary Flames had, I definitely think he's going to have more opportunity to play with a lot of fantastic players on the power play and rack up a lot more points. So winning the Art Ross Trophy, I have Connor McDavid, and I think that is what it's going to look like in the NHL throughout his entire prime. And lastly, we have the Hart Trophy, awarded to the most valuable player in the NHL throughout that season, and winning this one, once again, kind of a no-brainer for me. I have Connor McDavid, and a lot of people probably don't have him winning it because you pretty much have to be playing on a playoff team if you do want to win the Hart Trophy. But me, probably an unpopular opinion, I do see the Edmonton Oilers bouncing back and making the playoffs once again like they did 2 years ago, and leading the charge I think that will be Connor McDavid, and this will make him the MVP of the NHL. Nominees I have obviously Connor McDavid, Nathan MacKinnon, who I definitely think can sustain the season he had last year, and then Mark Scheifele of the Winnipeg Jets. I just think the Winnipeg Jets are going to be such a good team, and Mark Scheifele, if he does play a full 82 game season, I certainly think he's a guy who could put up 90 plus points and maybe even push 100 because he plays with so many talented guys. So I definitely think if the Edmonton Oilers do make the playoffs, and that's what I'm going with, I have Connor McDavid winning the Hart Trophy. So that is going to do it for my NHL Awards predictions, and obviously you guys don't have to agree. If you don't go hating down in the comment section below. Just let me know, who do you guys think are going to win each respective trophy next season. I did leave a couple out because I didn't want to make this video too long, and most people only care about the top end trophies, the ones that get a lot more recognition. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.